Hi, I'm Lainey, your eyes and ears here in the Philippines. If you're watching this, you're likely tired of being the most popular man in the room only when your wallet is open. Today, we are diving into the language passport to her heart, and I have a brutal truth that's going to sting, but it's the only thing that will save your retirement and your dignity. Stop wasting your hard earned money on oversized teddy bears and jewelry she'll just pawn later. And please, stop trying to dye your hair to look 40. Your gray hair isn't why you're struggling to find a loyal woman, it's your tourist mouth. Here is the cold reality. If you speak like a customer, you will be treated like a bank. Most of you walk around these islands acting like a walking ATM. And then you act surprised when the girl, and her entire neighborhood, sees you as nothing more than a revolving credit line. You are paying the tourist price for affection. And let me tell you, that price is always inflated, and the product is never genuine. I'm going to give you 3 simple words that will instantly transform you from a clueless mark into a man of high value and respect. These words are the ultimate cheat code to her loyalty. If you want to stop being an easy target for the sharks and finally find the peace you worked your whole life for, stay exactly where you are. Your future depends on it. I know the dream you packed in your suitcase. You arrived here looking for a pink paradise, a place where a beautiful young woman looks into your eyes and sees a hero, not a social security check. You've spent decades building a life, only to find that in your own country, you've become invisible. You're tired of the coldness, the modern games, and the feeling that your value expired the day you retired. So, you come to the Philippines, where the smiles are wide and the weather is warm. But we need to talk about the theater production you've walked into. Let's be brutally honest. Many of the girls you meet online or in the tourist hubs are professional actresses. They aren't bad people, but they are survivalists. Behind every "I miss you" text is often a hidden committee of financial consultants, otherwise known as her cousins and neighbors, calculating exactly how much maintenance your retirement fund can provide. They see your gray hair as a silver lining on a very large cloud of cash. They know exactly which buttons to push to make a lonely, honorable man feel like a king, right before they start harvesting the crop. But listen to me closely. It is not your fault. You aren't clueless or pathetic for wanting to be loved. You are a man of integrity who assumes others play by the same rules of honesty that you do. You've been programmed by a culture that values the truth, while here, the truth is often whatever keeps the rice cooker full. I know the sting of realized manipulation. I know the exhaustion of wondering if she's looking at you or the ATM behind you. You deserve the peace you worked your whole life for, and the reason you've been struggling isn't because you're old. It's because you've been trying to buy a local's heart with a tourist's script. To understand why these 3 words are your ultimate shield, I need you to imagine walking into a Filipino palengke, our traditional wet market. It's loud, humid, and smells like a mix of dried fish and sweet jasmine. You walk in with your expensive watch and your Western customer service attitude. The vendor sees you coming from a mile away. To her, you aren't a person, you're a big fish. She has 2 piles of mangoes under her table. One pile is bruised, overripe, and priced at 3 times the actual value. The other pile is hidden away, golden, firm, and sweet, reserved only for those she respects. Because you speak only English and carry yourself like a tourist, you are handed the bruised fruit and charged the foreigner tax. You pay it with a smile, thinking you got a deal, while she laughs with her neighbors the moment you turn your back. This is exactly what's happening in your dating life. If you approach a Filipina with a tourist mouth, you are shopping at the most expensive stall in the market. You are paying the tourist price for affection, which means you get a superficial, high-maintenance version of love that expires the moment your bank account looks thin. But then, look at the local man who walks up right after you. He says just one or two specific words, and suddenly the vendor's eyes soften. The good mangoes appear from the shadows, and he pays the local price. He isn't just getting a discount on fruit, he's getting her loyalty, her best quality, and her protection. By using the words I'm about to teach you, you stop being a customer in the market of love and start being a suki, a respected, preferred partner. You are about to learn how to stop buying the bruised leftovers of a girl's heart and start receiving the sweetness you actually deserve. Now, let's get to the 3 words that will change your life here. If you think I'm just giving you a vocabulary lesson, you've already missed the point. These aren't just sounds, they are keys to a vault. The first word is po. Write it down, memorize it, and start using it today. The direct fact is simple. Po is a particle we add to sentences to show respect to elders or people of higher status. But here is the hidden truth that most foreigners never see. Filipino culture is a strict, invisible hierarchy. In your country, everyone wants to be equal. Here, equal means you are an outsider. When you walk around talking to everyone like they are your buddies or your employees, you look like a clueless tourist with a tourist mouth. To a Filipina, a man who doesn't show respect to the social order is a man who can be easily manipulated because he doesn't understand the rules of the house. Here is the practical example. You go to meet her parents, or even just the lady at the sari-sari store. You say, hello, or how much, with that loud Western confidence. To them, you are just a walking wallet who thinks money replaces manners. But if you say, salamat po, or magandang umaga po, something magical happens. The foreigner tax starts to drop. Her mother stops looking at you like a paycheck and starts looking at you like a senior who deserves protection. My instruction to you is simple. Add po to the end of your sentences when speaking to anyone older than her and even when you are being sweet to her. It signals cultural alignment. It tells her family that you aren't just here to harvest the ripe mangoes and leave. It shows you respect the tree they grew on. The second word is salamat. It means thank you. Now, you might think you already do this, but you're doing it wrong. The hidden truth is that many girls expect foreigners to be entitled because they are the ones with the pension. When you act entitled, you turn her into an employee. And let me tell you, an employee is always looking for a better paying job or a way to do the least amount of work for the most pay. If you treat her like a service provider, she will provide the service of love until your subscription runs out. I see this all the time. A man takes a girl out to a nice dinner, pays the bill, and says nothing when she brings him a napkin or fixes his collar. He thinks his money said thank you for him. That is a fatal mistake. If you want to break the ATM stereotype, you must say salamat for the tiny, non-monetary things. When she holds your hand in the mall, when she peels a piece of fruit for you, or when she makes sure your coffee is just the way you like it, look her in the eyes and say, salamat. It shocks her system. It shows her you see the woman, not the maid. It lowers her guard because she realizes she doesn't have to perform to get your appreciation. By the way, before I tell you about the word that handles the watering of the garden and the most dangerous trap of all, I need to tell you that these videos are just the surface. If you want the actual maps to the Filipina psyche, the stuff I can't say here without the algorithm cutting my throat, you need to join my Inner Circle newsletter. It's free, it's private, and it's where I tell you the stories that are too spicy for a public stage. The link is in the description. Now, back to the cheat codes. The third word is the most powerful weapon in your arsenal: lambing. There is no direct translation in English, but the fact is, it means affectionate tenderness. Here is the hidden truth. Most Western men are either too alpha and stiff, acting like they are on a business trip, or they are too thirsty and desperate, constantly pushing to visit the jungle or taste the pink taco. A Filipina's heart isn't one in the bedroom or the boardroom. It's one in the middle ground of lambing. Imagine you're sitting on the couch after a long day. Most men will either ignore the girl or start pawing at her like a teenager. Instead, try this. Tell her, "I need some lambing." It's a word that implies sweet, non-sexual intimacy, snuggling, sweet talk, just being close. It is the absolute kryptonite for a Filipina because it's what she was raised to value most. When you ask for lambing, you aren't asking for a transaction. You are asking for a deep emotional connection. This is how you get her to focus only on you and stop scrolling through TikTok looking for the next big fish. If you give her lambing, she will gladly water your garden with a level of passion you've never experienced because she feels safe and cherished, not just used. But here is the plot twist, the counterintuitive truth that no one else will tell you. The real power of these three words isn't actually for the girl. It's for her barangay, her community, and her family. You see, the biggest danger to your retirement isn't the girl. It's the cousins and neighbors who whisper in her ear that you're an easy mark. But if her mother and her neighbors hear you using po and salamat, they will label you as mabait, a man with a good soul. In our culture, once the community labels you as mabait, it becomes a massive social shame for the girl to cheat on you or for the family to ask you for too much money. You are essentially hiring her entire social circle to be your unpaid bodyguards. By speaking like a local, you become one of them. And in the Philippines, we don't rob our own. You aren't just winning a heart, you're securing your perimeter. But here is the plot twist, the counterintuitive truth that no one else has the guts to tell you. You think these three words are just tools to make a young girl smile? If so, you're still thinking like a tourist. The real power of po, salamat, and lambing isn't actually for the girl sitting next to you. It is for her barangay, her mother, her gossip-hungry neighbors, and the cousins watching you from the shadows with a calculator in their eyes. In the Philippines, you aren't just dating a woman. You are entering a social contract with an entire ecosystem. The biggest threat to your peace of mind and your bank account isn't the girl herself. It's the whispers in her ear from people who believe you are a big fish that needs to be gutted for the good of the village. But when her mother hears you use po, and her neighbors see you saying salamat for a simple glass of water, something profound and invisible happens. They label you as mabait, a man with a truly good soul. Once you are branded as mabait, the rules of the game change instantly. In our culture, it is a massive, soul-crushing social shame to harvest the crop of a man who shows genuine respect to the hierarchy. You are essentially hiring her entire social circle to be your unpaid bodyguards. They will stop suggesting she asks you for a new iPhone and start protecting you from the real sharks in their own family. By speaking with a local heart instead of a tourist mouth, you stop being a target and start being one of us. And in these islands, we never rob our own. The ultimate secret to your safety isn't a locked vault or a prenuptial agreement. It's a respected name in her village. You aren't just winning a heart, you are securing your perimeter for the rest of your life. This is the only way to truly wash your car in peace without worrying about who is holding the keys. Now, take a deep breath. I know I've just dragged you through the mud and shown you the sharks circling the reef. It can feel exhausting, even a bit cynical, to realize how many traps are set for a man with a kind heart and a solid pension. But listen to me, and listen well. I wouldn't be telling you these secrets if the prize wasn't worth the journey. The truth is, despite the big fish hunters and the ATM seekers, the Philippines is still the most beautiful place on earth for a man like you to find a home for his heart. There are thousands, no, millions, of incredible, loyal, and deeply affectionate women here who aren't looking for a customer. They are looking for exactly what you have: stability, life experience, and the kind of quiet strength that only comes with your silver hair. At 60, you aren't past your prime. You are at your absolute peak. You have the wisdom those 20-year-old boys can only dream of. You know how to treat a woman with the respect she craves, and in return, you deserve to be treated like the king you've become. Now that you know where the holes are in the road, you can drive with your head held high. The storm of uncertainty is over. You are armed, you are wise, and your queen is waiting. Trust the process, trust your new, local heart, and never settle for anything less than the peace you've earned. I've handed you the passport. Now, it's up to you to cross the border. But before you go, I want to hear from you in the comments. Have you ever felt the cold shadow of being seen as just a walking ATM? And are you ready to demand the local price for your heart? I read every word because my only mission is to ensure that good, honorable men finally find the loyalty they've earned. If I've helped you navigate the reef today, feel free to support your little sister. A small tip helps me keep these truths coming. Maybe enough for a bucket of Jollibee chicken or a cold San Miguel Pale Pilsen after a long day of watching your back. This isn't just a channel, it's your safe harbor. Until next time, stay wise, stay respected, and good luck.